sixth day of the Invictus launch week. And today is Drake Interplanetary, who's not normally part of the Invictus. They usually have their own launch week because they do not have any UEE Navy contracts. So Drake usually does their, defense con, but apparently not this year. So let's go to our little terminal because there's absolutely no Drake ships or things on the show floor. And the first thing comes up is the Drake Herald, which is Drake's information runner and E-Tech attack defense vehicle. So basically it is capturing information, transmitted, whatever, has these little banks of server arrays and whatever, so they can store information that can't be transmitted or caught while transmitted. It's super fast. It does have guns and a couple missiles, but as you can see from the back of it here, it is made to go fast once it has the information and just outrun everybody else, and it does that well. They've actually used it for racing and the racing part of Star Citizen, and it does fairly well for a larger ship. Okay, the Drake Dragonfly, which is their baseline levitation ground vehicle, kind of like a snowmobile for any terrain. It is durable, it is fast, it is, an all-around good little vehicle. I like them for cruising around on planet. Great way to go hunting. Okay. We must be getting some server lag here.
For those with loved ones setting off today to begin their life in the Navy,
maybe.
Stop by our friends and family.
Maybe.
To get a better understanding of what they have to look forward to in naval service.
Come on, CIG. There we go. And so the next is the Drake Cutter Scout. It is one of the starter ships. It is Drake's version. It has decent cargo space for a beginner ship. It has a decent amount of guns, decent armament. It is a well-rounded little utility ship for a beginner. You can do a little bit of everything. So not bad there. But, it's a very... It's utilitarian, not pretty. So it's one of those vehicles that you buy because it has a purpose, not because it looks pretty or has a super fancy interior or super fancy, load out of guns or whatever. The Cutter Rambler. Okay, that's Scout, that's the Rambler, so that's the Expedition, so it can go farther. Here's the Cutlass Red, which is one of the Cutlass series, so this body frame. This is the ambulance version, so it gives up the top turret for a better sensor array and basically ambulance lights, which is cool. Red. Wow. Red. Okay, here's the blue. The blue is basically the police version. So where everything else comes out with a top turret, 4 guns, well, the black, which is the baseline model, comes out with a turret, 2 ballistic and 2 energy guns, and yeah, This comes with upgraded motor or upgraded engines, upgraded armament. It has the interdictor system in it, so it can keep you from jumping to quantum, and its weapons are loaded out to disable your vehicle rather than destroy your vehicle. Plus, it has this cool cockpit. I wish this cockpit was on the black, but it is a very defining feature for this particular version of the Cutlass frame. Nice ship, does its purpose very well. In game lore, they are used by planetary systems, police forces, because they're cheap and they're effective. Okay, this is the black. I normally run this as my upgraded beginner ship. It has decent amount of firepower with the 4 size 3s, plus a top turret, max crew of 3, can be run by one person, has cargo space. I think it's like 36 SU of cargo space, has drop gate in the back, plus the 2 sliding side doors. It has seating for up to, is it 6? And 2 beds. So the only thing I don't like about it is from the original Cutlass Black model, there was a bathroom in it. It was janky and would be kind of embarrassing to use, but as a ship model, when they reimagined it, they took out the bathroom. So that's my only complaint about it. Very utilitarian, very effective. Okay, the Drake Corsair is their Drake's exploration vehicle, and of course, being that it's a Drake vehicle, it has a huge complement of forward-facing guns. Because this is a multi-crew, I think it has space for, 6 crew? You have pilot, co-pilot. Pilot has like 6 forward guns. The co-pilot has a chin turret, and there's rear and side turrets for it as well. Great range, great durability. It is surprisingly nimble for as big a ship as it is, and it is quite capable in a fight because it's well armored, well armed. Very utilitarian interior. Looks like a lot of military style vehicles. Love the Corsair. Drake Caterpillar is the beginning vehicle for Drake's cargo vehicles. At some point, they're going to give us modularity in the different cargo bays, so it can, be made into a pocket carrier or something like that, or put in specific modules for science, or however they want to do it. It is not very well armed, but it is fairly durable and it is fast. So everything you need for a cargo runner that can get in and out of whatever situation. It's not going to fight its way out, but it might be able to outrun whatever's chasing it. It's kind of floundery in the corners, but big ship, kind of expect that. Doesn't do well in atmosphere because it's a big flying box. Okay, so that was the Caterpillars. The Drake Buccaneers, the next one. It is one of my favorite light fighters, not because that it's Drake, but because of how the weapons are set up. It has a turret on the top that is literally right over the top of the cockpit, and 2 guns that go under each wing beside the cockpit, and these stupid little dinky ones that go out on the ends of the wings, which aren't my favorite, but because they're just added firepower. It allows you to focus so much firepower in a narrow area that you can do a lot of damage really quick. Armor wise, sucks. It's, you know, you give up a lot of durability for speed and maneuverability with it. But it is a great light fighter. It can get in, hit hard, and get away. As far as I'm concerned, it's a little bit better than the Arrow, but the Arrow has better overall equipment and stuff, where the Drake Cutter is, or the Drake Buccaneer is kind of a cheap man's, you know, the poor man's fighter plane. You know, you can do well in atmosphere because it has very wing profile. Wow. But overall, it is a good all-around.
For centuries, Invictus has been a time for friends and
It's a good all-around light fighter.
service.
Can't wait until the Kraken's out to see how many of these things can be fit on there. Okay, the Cutlass Steel. I don't see a lot of people using this, but it is kind of a cool concept. It is just a flat-out troop carrier with ground support weapons. So all the sliding open side doors where your Marines would bail out of once you drop in are got guns on them. There's little side turret guns that swivel in. The rear has a turret gun. So, but you give up a lot of your cargo space for seats for your Marines. So it's probably going to be great for the uh, eventual melee PvP gameplay that it's supposed to be coming in with Star Citizen. So that was the steel. It also, the steel has more armor than the base Cutlass Black, and the added firepower of all the extra side guns. So I think you need a 6-man crew to fully crew it, plus the 12 Marine seats that you have in it. So great ship, just not very useful right now because, well, that part of the gameplay has not been fully built out yet. Okay, the Drake Cutter. This is the baseline cutter. Just a light freight ship. Has bathroom, has, small living area, has bed. Very utilitarian, get the job done little ship. Oh, come on. We might get done with this sometime today if the server lets us. Come on. Okay. Okay, the Drake Mule, which is the little cargo packing vehicle. So you put this in your hangar when you got a big ship to load or unload, and he'll pack all your cargo for you a little bit faster. Cool little ground vehicle. Of course, it's messed up in the view here. Okay, Drake Vulture. So this is your one man. Well, it'd be more effective with two, but it is a self-contained, basically ship stripper for salvaging ships that have been destroyed or stations or whatever. But it's got a nice little cargo area. Can't remember, it's like 30 SU of cargo, but it can strip and break down ships. Very good ship for that particular gameplay that it's actually in. The only way to make it better is to have more than one person in it so that you can not have to stop to, because its process, it just poops out the little brick and you have to move it around, so you can continue to add more and more cargo to the back of the ship, and you have to manually move them. Okay, and here is the Drake Golem. So this is the one-man mining ship that they just put out. I have not done much with this ship. I'm kind of planning on playing with this just a little bit, just to get a feel for it. Mining is in the gameplay now, so it is very advantageous to look at this if you're into mining, because it's going to be cheap. I would suggest buy it in game and not in real life, because if you're into mining and you're just starting out, it's probably not. Well, if you're into mining and you're wanting to spend real money for a mining ship, this is probably not what you want. You probably want something bigger. But if you're in game, you're trying to figure out whether you want to do that particular gameplay style, this will probably be where you start at to get a feel for it and whether you like it or not. And it'd be much cheaper to buy it in game than it is with real life money. So definitely a good option, baseline, very basic, simple ship to work, which is kind of the Drake motto. Put a bunch of guns on it, is their thing. So yeah, that is today. That was Drake. So I will talk at y'all later.